So regardless of lockdown, prior to all of this, when people come into my home, the first thing they ask me is, what is that thing over there in the corner? And why is it blowing fake smoke out of it? And basically it's an oil diffuser. And oil diffusers are basically a very small device that you put water in, and they actually they use the oils, so you use essential oils from different scents you can put into it, and then they blow out the water vapor, which then gives out a lovely vapor smell scent in the room. And there's loads of different great benefits that I use my oil diffusers for. You can really get some really cheap ones as well online that are actually pretty good, and I'll actually put a link in this description of the one that I use. And I actually have a lot of different kinds of scents that I use for different reasons. So using the purpose behind using my oil diffuser and using essential oils is, first of all, to change the way that I want to feel, or improve the way that I want to feel. And this is where the different scents come into play. So I could use it for when I'm working at my laptop in front of my desk, or if I want to relax, if I want to do a little bit of stretching, or if I want to just relax and read a book. And this is where it comes down to, or just have a nice smell, in the room. It's a great way just to give a nice scent in the room. And when people talk about smells and scents, what I generally find is that a lot of people don't just think of smells and scents as just a pleasure thing. It's just nice and that's it. But there's actually different scents and different smells, especially within essential oils, proper 100% essential oils, that actually can give your body a huge amount of health benefits. And we've got things like sage. Sage is one of my favorites because sage actually acts as an anti-inflammatory response to the nervous system. So anything that we take into our body, whether it's through our mouths, whether it's through our nose, whether it's through our receptors in our skin or our eyes, our body still has to process that. So, and this is the same thing because we're practically inhaling this water vapor through this scent with this essential oil in it. So our body is going to respond to that. Our hormones are going to change. Our nervous system is going to be stimulated by that. So with sage, I mean, there's loads of different scents, and just going to run you through some of my top four. So number one is probably sage for me, because sage is something that I can use for anything, and whether I'm working, whether I'm relaxing, whether I feel a little bit stressed. And I get a lot of people asking me about anxiety and essential oils, and saying, are essential oils great for anxiety? And they 100% are. If you choose the right oils that are treated more for anxiety, and sage is one of those. Sage is great for de-stressing, anxiety, relaxing, stopping 1,000 thoughts going on in your head, and actually focusing and being in the moment, I find as well. And there's with these essential oils, everyone's going to have a little bit of a different response to them. It's not saying you are definitely going to get this response from it, but sometimes you have to test them out. But generally, this is my experience with these oils. Another top one for me is lemongrass. So lemongrass is amazing. It's a very strong, citrusy, lemony kind of smell, and you don't usually have to use much of it. But I put this right next to my oil diffuser where my desk is, where I work when I'm working. So the way that this makes me feel, concentration wise, tunnel vision wise, it gives me creative ideas, it makes me focus, it gives me that edge, that proper edge with the thinking and then performing and solving problems and just getting the work done, but getting the work done at a great quality as well, and the meaning behind my work, it really gets me into that zone. So I find if I'm trying to come up with an idea, if I'm dealing with customers, if I'm dealing with clients, if I've got to create some new programs for people, if I've got some big challenges coming up, boom, lemongrass is the one for me. Another one for me is lavender. Lavender is, again, quite similar to sage, but I find lavender really helps me wind down a little bit more. It helps me relax if I want to sit down and read a book. I like to treat lavender as that warming, kind of relaxing, homey, kind of let's get comfortable kind of feeling response I get from it. So if I'm reading a book, if I'm deciding I want to watch a nice show on the TV, or if I just want to relax, meditation as well. Lavender I find is fantastic for meditation, as well as sage as well. Again, lavender holds some fantastic anti-inflammatory properties in the body, so it's actually doing good to your body as well. And my final and fourth one is probably going to have to be rosewood. And rosewood is something that I use again for relaxing more than anything, and I find for sleep a massive one for sleep. So I've got an oil diffuser right by the side of my bed as well in my bedroom, and a couple of drops of rosewood about an hour before I go to sleep. I find it knocks me out. It really does knock me out, and it really tells the body to relax and it's time to end the day. It's time to recover, get that sleep in. And I think what rosewood does for me, it kind of activates my circadian rhythm a little bit. So it's kind of telling my brain, telling my neuroscience and my biochemistry that it's time to sleep. It's time to sleep. It's time to reset and recover and recharge and rejuvenate for the next day. And I find it puts me in a really good mood as well, because when I find that the moods that you have before you get to sleep are going to determine the quality of your sleep and how you're going to feel the next day. And rosewood, even if I'm not feeling that great, or if I've had a busy day or something's gone wrong, rosewood just kind of just takes that all out, and it says it is what it is. Acceptance is a big thing with rosewood. It gives you that level of acceptance and that you can only do what you can do. That's just my response from it. So, but yeah, if anyone wants to know any more about essential oils, there's a huge benefits you can take away from them. And if you feel like it might be something that you can benefit from around your house, then experiment with a few of these essential oils. If anyone wants to talk to me more about them, wants to know any more that I've experimented with, and you can actually buy these great packs online where you get the diffuser and you actually get you get like a set of oils, so you can actually try some out and see what works for you. And the great thing with these oils as well is that you can actually mix them together, so you could put a couple of drops of, say, sage and a couple of drops of lavender in the same one, and then see how you feel with it, and you can kind of create your own little cocktail. And it's a great thing to have. It's a fantastic thing to have in your home or your workplace. If you have it in your office, I know a lot of friends have got actually oil diffusers at the side of their desk in their office, and their colleagues say, what the hell is that? So but it's about enhancing the way that you feel and constantly being in that best version of yourself that you can be.